Praise, honor, and glory to Yahawah, Bahashem, Yahawashi. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Greatmillstone for teaching me this truth according to the Bible. I just want to get straight into the spirit, right? And Lord willing, this is edifying, right? So I'm gonna get Sirach 2 verse 4. Whatsoever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully, and be patient when thou art changed to a low estate. For gold is tried in the fire, and acceptable men in the furnace of adversity. Right? So, and that's really what I want to dwell on. I'll read it one more time. Whatsoever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully, and be patient when thou art changed to a low estate. For gold is tried in the fire, and acceptable men in the furnace of adversity. Right? So, it says Proverbs 17:3, or the finding pot is for silver, and the furnace for gold, but the Lord trieth the hearts. Right? It says the finding pot is for silver, and the furnace for gold, but the Lord trieth the hearts. Because now we're really seeing who's going to stick it out, right? Who's going to endure to the end. This is Isaiah. This is Isaiah 40 and 31, or the 28. Hast thou not known, hast thou not heard, that the everlasting power, Yahawah, the creator of the ends of the earth, fainteth not, neither is weary. There is no searching of his understanding. He giveth power to the faint, and to them that have no might he increaseth strength. Even the youth shall faint, and be weary, and the young men shall utterly fall. But they that wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength, that they shall mount up with wings as eagles. They shall run and not be weary, and they shall walk and not faint. Right? That's talking about that spiritual power, right? Just waiting on the Lord. There's things that He is gonna increase us with. This is Psalms 109 and 26. Help me, O Lord, my power. O save me according to thy mercy, that they may know that this is thy hand, that thou, Lord, hast done it. Let them curse, but bless thou. When they arise, let them be ashamed, but let thy servant rejoice. Let my adversaries be clothed with shame, and let them cover themselves with their own confusion, as with a mantle. I will greatly praise the Lord with my mouth, yea, I will praise him among the multitude. For he shall stand at the right hand of the poor, to save him from those that condemn his soul. Right? And that's deep, because it said, and let them cover themselves with their own confusion. This place we're in right now, the Americas, is Babylon the Great, which means confusion. Babylon means confusion. It's great confusion, right? And I want to go to Psalms 112. It says, um, raise ye the Lord. Blessed is the man that feareth the Lord, that delighteth greatly in his commandments. His seed shall be mighty upon the earth. The generation of the upright shall be blessed. Wealth and riches shall be in his house, and his righteousness endureth forever. Unto the upright there ariseth light in the darkness. He is gracious and full of compassion and righteous. A good man showeth favor and lendeth. He will guide his affairs with discretion. Surely he shall not be moved forever. The righteous shall be in everlasting remembrance. He shall not be afraid of evil tidings. His heart is fixed, trusting in the Lord. His heart is established. He shall not be afraid until he see his desire upon his enemies. Right? So it said that the Most High trieth the hearts. And look at this heart right here. His heart is established. He shall not be afraid until he see his desire upon his enemies. He hath dispersed, he hath given to the poor. His righteousness endureth forever. His horn, which is his power, shall be exalted with honor. The wicked shall see it and be grieved. He shall gnash with his teeth and melt away. The desire of the wicked shall perish. This is Romans 13 and 11. And that knowing the time, that now is high time to awake out of sleep. For now is our salvation nearer than when we believed. Because what we was out in the world, and we didn't even know it was Israel. And all these things was happening, right? All these prophecies was coming to pass, right? The apostles and elders of Greatmillstone knew about these things, and they was pushing this word. So now it's our time to continue and get on this plow and then go harder, right? So we can just be in the kingdom already, right? Yahawashi is coming back, and when that time comes, we want to be of the elect. We want those crowns, right? We really want to praise the Most High, serve the Most High in spirit and in truth, right? The night is far spent, the day is at hand. So Esau's kingdom is at the end. Our kingdom is coming to the beginning. Let us therefore cast off the works of darkness and let us put on the armor of light. Because you can't get into this thing and still be stuck in your own sins, right? You can't be like, oh, I'm under grace and like I'm good, because like some things we can't keep because what Esau has contaminated the food with the mixed seed. There's things like dealing with the women, how they have to be separate when they're on their menstrual cycle and stuff like that. We're gonna be unclean. that working on the Sabbath, right? Because we're in captivity, we can't do all these things complete 100%. We can do it to our best of our ability, but in the kingdom we're gonna be doing it perfect, and we're not even gonna have to think about it, because the Israelites are gonna be under the second covenant. It says, "The night is far spent, the day is at hand. Let us therefore cast off the works of darkness, and let us put on the armor of light. Let us walk honestly as in the day, not in rioting and drunkenness, not in chambering and wantonness, not in strife and envy. But put ye on the Lord Yahawashi Hamashiach, and make not provision for the flesh to fulfill the lust thereof." Right? That real lust. And it's the Spirit going to this in me that I read this thing. I read it earlier to get it's deeper in my mind now. This is 1 Corinthians 10 verse 8. I'm gonna start up. I'm gonna start at the top. 1 Corinthians 10 at the top. "Moreover, brethren, I would not that ye should be ignorant, how that all our fathers were under the cloud, and all passed through the sea." Right? And were all baptized unto Moses in the cloud and in the sea. Talking about coming out of Egypt and with the chariot over us. "And did all eat the same spiritual meat, and did all drink the same spiritual drink, for they drank of that spiritual rock that followed them, and that rock was Yahawashi. But with many of them the Most High was not pleased, for they were overthrown in the wilderness. Now these things are our examples, to the intent we should not lust after evil things, as they also lusted. Neither be ye idolaters, as were some of them, as it is written, the people sat down to eat and drink, and rose up to play. Neither let us commit fornication, as some of them committed, and fell one day 23,000. And what's that talking about? This is Numbers 25, and I start at the top. "And Israel abode in Shittim, and the people begun to commit whoredom with the daughters of Moab, and they called the people unto the sacrifices of their powers, and the people did eat and bow down to their powers." And that's idol worship. That's going against the Ten Commandments. "Thou shalt not have other gods before me." And the Lord said unto Moses, "Take all the heads of the people and hang them before the Lord against the sun, that the fierce anger of the Lord may be turned away from Israel." And Moses said unto the judges of Israel, "Slay ye every one his men that were joined unto Baal Peor." And behold, one of the children of Israel came and brought unto his brother a Midianitish woman in the sight of Moses, in the sight of all the congregation of the children of Israel, who were weeping before the door of the tabernacle of the congregation. And when Phinehas the son of Eleazar, the son of Aaron the priest, saw it, he rose up from amongst the congregation, and took a javelin in his hand, and he went after the man of Israel into the tent, and thrust both of them thorough, the man of Israel and the woman through her belly, so the plague was stayed from the children of Israel, and those that died in the plague were 24,000. Right? So that's what it's talking about in 1 Corinthians 10 and 8. It says, neither let us commit fornication as some of them committed and fell one day 320,000. Right? Continuing on, verse 9, and neither let us tempt Yahawashi as some of them also tempted and were destroyed of serpents. Neither murmur ye as some of them also murmured and were destroyed of the destroyer. Right? Because this book is for an example, right, to us. Because, what's it say? This is Sirach, and Sirach 2 and 10. Look at the generations of old and see did ever trust in the Lord, so Yahawah, Bahashem Yahawashi, and was confounded, or did any abide in his fear and was forsaken, or whom did he ever despise that called upon him? Right? But this is Sirach 27 and 5. The furnace proveth the potter's vessel, so the trial of man is his reasoning. We're going through these things, so the Most High is building us up, right? So he's making us hard. That's why we're enduring, right? To make hard. So we're enduring these things, so we could align our minds correctly, right? Before the time of this great destruction, right? That's coming upon this place, and this great deliverance also, right? This is Wisdom of Solomon 3 and 1. But the souls of the righteous are in the hand of the Most High, and there shall no torment touch them. In the sight of the unwise they seem to die, and their departure is taken for misery, and their going from us to be utter destruction. But they are in peace. For though they be punished in the sight of men, yet is their hope full of immortality. Having been a little chastised, they shall be greatly rewarded, for the Most High proved them and found them worthy of himself. Right? This is what we're talking about this whole time right here. As gold in the furnace have he tried them and received them as a burnt offering. Right? This is Romans 12 at the top. I beseech you therefore, brethren, by the mercies of the Most High, that ye present your bodies a living sacrifice, wholly acceptable unto the Most High, which is your reasonable service. And be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind, that ye may prove what is that good, that acceptable and perfect will of the Most High. For I say, through the grace given unto me, to every man that is among you not to think of himself more highly than he ought to think, but to think soberly, according according as the Most High have dealt to every man the measure of faith. For as we have many members in one body, and all members have not the same office, so we being many are one body in Yahawashi, and every one members one of another. Right? We can't do this alone. We're doing this with the brethren, right? Having then gifts differing according to the grace that is given unto us, whether prophecy, let us prophesy according to the proportion of faith, or ministry, let us wait on our ministering, or he that teacheth on teaching, or he that exhorteth on exhortation. He that giveth, let him do it with simplicity, right? So we're not just going into this thing and trying to break these scriptures down that they can't get it. We want these people to get it. We want the elect of the nation of Israel, the 144,000 and the 1/3, to understand our words, right? Which these words were given to us by the Most High. He that ruleth with diligence, right? So like the apostles and elders of Greatmillstone, ruling with diligence, that's an example. He that showeth mercy with cheerfulness, let love be without dissimulation, abhor that which is evil, right? And what was evil? That old man, the man that you were before you came into the truth. So you're not supposed to cleave onto that man. You're supposed to kick him to the curb. Cleave to that which is good. Be kindly affection one to another with brotherly love, and honor, preferring one another. Not slothful in business, fervent in spirit, serving the Lord. Right? That's what he requires of us. Rejoicing in hope, patient in tribulation. Right? Continuing instant in prayer. Because what? We're in that straight path. Right? Which straight means I think of it like as the path of affliction, right? Where you gotta walk on the coals, but at the end you get to the sea, right? You get to the sea, like you're walking on hot coals, but at the end you're gonna get to the sea, and your feet gonna be comforted, right? And you're not gonna have to carry your weight, right? Distributing to the necessity of saints, given to hospitality. Bless them which persecute you, bless and curse not. Rejoice with them that do rejoice, and weep with them that weep, right? Because we're rejoicing in these prophecies coming to pass, but we're weeping because what? We still have to go through these things. We're still going through these tribulations. We understand the what happened to our people, how destroyed our people, how we, as a people, we're so destroyed, right? Because we want our people to be on top. Be of the same mind one towards another, right? Speaking the same thing, right? Not different. Mind not high things, but condescend to men of low estate. Be not wise in your own conceits. Recompense to no man evil for evil. Provide things honest in the sight of all men, right? Because what we want to be blameless in this truth. Well, and then 18, if it be possible, as much as life in you, live peaceably with all men. Dearly beloved, avenge not yourself, but rather give place unto wrath. For it is written, vengeance is mine, I will repay, saith the Lord. Therefore, if thy enemies hunger, feed them. If he thirst, give him drink. For in so doing, thou shalt heap coals of fire on his head. Be not overcome with evil, but overcome evil with good. this is Ephesians 4 and 11. And he gave some apostles and some prophets and some evangelists and some pastors and teachers for the perfecting of the saints, for the work of the ministry, for the edifying of the body of Yahawashi. Right? So it's only for that body of Yahawashi, the elect, 144,001 right? And that's why he set it up like this, right? For the perfecting of the saints, till we all come in the unity of the faith and of the knowledge of the Son of the Most High, unto a perfect man, unto the measure of the stature of the fullness of Yahawashi, that we henceforth be no more children tossed to and fro and carried about with every wind of doctrine by the sleight of men and cunning craftiness, whereby they lie in wait to deceive, but speaking the truth in love may grow up into him in all things which is head, even Yahawashi, from whom the whole body fitly joined together and compacted by that which every joint supplieth according to the effectual work in the measure of every part, make an increase of the body unto the edifying of itself in love. Right? So this is when you're doing this work, this is for the body, to build up the body, to keep the body on the right path, and to build them up to be perfected, right? This is James 5 and 7. Be patient, therefore, brethren, unto the coming of the Lord. Behold, the husbandman waiteth for the precious fruit of the earth, and have long patience for it, until he receive the early and latter rain. Right? Because we're still getting perfected. Right? The time right now that we're in, we're just building ourselves up before the time of Jacob trouble. I'm watching these prophecies come to pass, right? Be ye also patient, establish your hearts, your minds, with the coming of the Lord draweth nigh. Well, it says high time to wake out of sleep. Well, if you're watching this, you most likely woke out of sleep, realize that Negro, Latino, and Native American are the Israelites. And if you're an Israelite, then you're waking up to your your heritage that was taken away from you, right, before the destruction, right? Establish your hearts, for the coming of the Lord draweth nigh. Grudge not one against another, brethren, lest ye be condemned. Behold, the judge standeth before the door. Take my brethren, the prophets, who have spoken in the name of the Lord, and Yahawashi, for an example of suffering, affliction, and of patience, right? Behold, we count them happy which endure. We have heard of the patience of Job, and have seen the end of the Lord, that the Lord is very pitiful and of tender mercies. And if you know anything about Job, he went through it, right? Job went through it. Basically, his life was, that was him getting changed to that lower state, right? But what, he was trusting in the Lord, right? 12, but above all things, my brethren, Swear not, neither by heaven, neither by the earth, neither by any other oath, but let your yea be yea and your nay be yea, lest ye fall into condemnation. Right? But yeah, we're not swearing on the Lord, anything like that. That's going off. But this is 1 Peter 4:11. If any man speak, let him speak as the oracles of the Most High. If any man minister, let him do it as of the ability which the Most High giveth, right? But he gave that ability for the perfecting of the saints, right? Which is the Israelites, which are the elect. That the Most High in all things may be glorified through Yahawashi Mashiach, to whom be praise and dominion forever and ever. Amen. The Wadi Yahawah, verse 12. Beloved, think it not strange concerning a fiery trial, which is to try you, as though some strange thing happened unto you. But rejoice inasmuch as ye are partakers of Yahawah's suffering, that when his glory shall be revealed, ye may be glad also with exceeding joy. If ye be reproached for the name of Yahawashi, happy are ye, for the spirit of glory and of the Most High resteth upon you. On their part he is evil spoken of, but on your part he is glorified. Right? Let me skip down to 17. Now I'll keep reading. But let none of you suffer as a murderer, or as a thief, or as an evildoer, or as a busybody in other man's matters. Right? So don't kill, don't steal, right? And mind your own business. And yet if any man suffer as a Christian, let him not be ashamed, but let him glorify the Most High on his behalf, because he's warning you about these things, right, which are gonna come for the faith, right, to so we can endure, because what he's trying us, right, to see where we are and where we stand, so we don't fold, right? You're not gonna recruit somebody that's easy to fold when you're playing on a team and you're losing by a certain amount of points. Be like, well, we shouldn't even play no more because I'm losing too bad, or we're losing too bad. That's folding, right? But the Most High is gonna give us that victory. For the time is come that judgment must begin at the house of the Most High. And if it first begin at us, what shall the end be of them that obey not the gospel of the Most High? Right, so we gotta make sure we're right, right? And we're going through all these things, that when judgment is coming upon us, then it's gonna be like, dang, so what's gonna happen to them that we was telling, oh, you're an Israelite, and we was doing the work, but they weren't taking heed, right? And if the righteous scarcely be saved, where shall the ungodly and sinner appear? And they're not going to appear. They're going to be destroyed. Wherefore let them that suffer according to the will of God commit the keeping of their souls to him in well-doing as unto a faithful Creator. And this is at all times, right? It's at all times, because we're, like Apostle Tahar says, we're an Israelite at all times, right? You gotta be thinking about Israel. You gotta be thinking about Yahawah, Yahawashi. You gotta be thinking about these prophecies at all times. At all times. This is Revelation 3, verse 10. Because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation, that microchip, that RFID chip, that mark of the beast, which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth. Right? Behold, I come quickly, hold that fast which thou hast, which is the faith, the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. that no man take thy crown, right? Because 144,000 is going to get crowned, right? You're going to get that victory, right? Him that overcometh will I make a pillar in the temple of my power, and he shall go no more out. And I will write upon him the name of my power, and the name of the city of my power, which is New Jerusalem, or Rawchaa, if I'm saying that right, which cometh down out of the heavens from my power, which is the elect, right? Not an actual city. And I will write upon him my new name. Skipping over to 18. I counsel thee to buy of me gold tried in the fire, right? That said precious, right? They're precious men, right? That's the elect, right? That thou mayest be rich in white raiment, that thou mayest be clothed, and that the shame of thy nakedness do not appear, so those sins, and anoint thine eyes with eye salve, that thou mayest see. As many as I love, I rebuke and chasten. Be zealous therefore and repent, right? Behold, I stand at the door and knock. If any may hear my voice and open the door, I will come into him and will sup with him, and he with me. To him that overcometh will I grant to sit with me in my throne. Grant to sit with me in my throne, even as I also overcame and am set down with my Father in his throne. He that hath an ear, let him hear what the Spirit saith unto the churches. Right? So this is a glorious thing. And this is what we want. We want, it's good for us to be chastened, right? Because that's how you know the Most High is dealing with you. Yahawah is dealing with you because you're going through these things. This is Sirach 19 and 5. Whoso taketh pleasure in wickedness shall be condemned, but he that resisteth pleasures crowneth his life. Let me read that again. Whoso taketh pleasure in wickedness shall be condemned, but he that resisteth pleasures crowneth his life. Right? That's why it says, but the elect have obtained it, and the rest were blinded. Right? Because what the elect of the nation Israel have, and if it, have obtained this truth, right? This is Sirach 15 and 17. Before man is life and death, and whether him liketh shall be given him. For the wisdom of the Lord is great, and he is mighty in power, and beholdeth all things. And his eyes are upon them that fear him, and he knoweth every work of man. He hath commanded no man to do wickedly, neither hath he given any man license to sin. Right? Just going back to Sirach 2, and the ones I brought off at the first. Whatsoever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully, and be patient when thou art changed to a low estate. For gold is tried in the fire, and acceptable men in the furnace of adversity. Right? So, I'm going to skip down where it says 16 or 15, or no, 14. The whole chapter is good though. Woe unto you that have lost patience, and what will ye do when the Lord shall visit you? They that fear the Lord will not disobey his word, and they that love him will keep his ways. They that fear the Lord will seek that which is well pleasing unto him, and they that love him shall be filled with the law. They that fear the Lord will prepare their hearts, which is their minds, and humble their souls in his sight, saying, we'll fall into the hands of the Lord, and not into the hands of men. For as his majesty is, so is his mercy. And the same thing was happening. David said the same thing, really, when the plague was going to come on Israel. Right? Do it real quick. It says for 2 Samuel 24 and 14, and David said unto Gad, I am in a great strait, like tribulation, right? Let us fall now into the hand of the Lord, for his mercies are great, and let me not fall into the hand of man, right? When because David counted the children of Israel, right? So he was about to get punished from the Most High, and the prophet speaking the words of the Most High came unto him, right, and said, choose between the three, right? The flee before your enemies, the pestilence in the land, or let me read it. 7 years of famine. The 3 months, flee 3 months before thy enemies, or 3 days pestilence in our land, right? So he's telling David to choose, but David was like, the Most High's mercies, not for me to pick, but let the Most High do what he's gonna do, because his mercies endure forever, right? His mercies are great, right? But yeah, that's really what I want to bring out. this is I want to leave this one. Leave with this one. This is Proverbs 14 and 26. And the fear of the Lord is strong confidence, and his children shall have a place of refuge. Because we know this is the truth. God, be fully persuaded. We know this is the truth, right? So this is our place of refuge because we know this is where it all comes together, right? This is our place where we know because we have the confidence that this is 100% right. And nobody can gainsay this or take this away from us, right? The fear of the Lord is a fountain of life to depart from the snares of death. So when he says, choose between life and death, man, choose between life and death. This is that life, right? Let me read again. The fear of the Lord is a fountain of life to depart from the snares of death, right? So I want to say, call the hallelujah, Yahawashi, double honors to the apostles and elders of Greatmillstone. Let me read this last one. Proverbs 13 and 15. 14 or 13. Whoso despiseth the word shall be destroyed, which is the oracles of the Most High. But he that feareth the commandment shall be rewarded, right, with the crown of the crown, talking about in Revelation, to the elect, the law of the wisdom, the law of the wise is a fountain of life to depart from the snares of death. Good understanding giveth favor, but the way of transgressors is hard, right? But I want to say, call the hallelujah, Yahawashi once again, and shalom to the elected nation of Israel.